Welcome to the CatFiveBoys podcast. I am your host, Matt, and I'm here with my co-host, Maddie.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well today.
Uh, and today we have a good show for you guys. Some good juicy topics to speak on, and something big that happened recently in the in recent news history has been in the news cycle. So we'll talk about that stuff as well. But before we get into that, let's get into some announcements. Disclaimer: the views expressed on the show by the individual hosts or guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the show itself. Further disclaimer: the topics that we talk about sometimes are not always the lightest or the most politically correct, or sometimes they're pretty sensitive. So if that's not your thing, you don't really like to hear about that type of stuff, then I would suggest you click off. This is probably not the right video for you. We have clips. If you guys can't catch the full shows, we have somewhat of the best bits, not all of the best bits, because then it would kind of ruin the whole purpose of the show. But we have some of the best bits on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and on TikTok as clip form. So if you guys want to go check that out, we have those accounts there. All of them are at CatFiveBoys. If you guys would like to be guests on the show, we would completely invite you to DM us on Instagram at CatFiveBoys, expressing your interest in being on the show, and we'll reach out to you, and we'll organize everything. We'll get you guys on the show as soon as we can. If you guys want to talk about something interesting that's going on in your life, or maybe you disagree with some of us about certain topics, whether that be about women or about politics or about religion or just whatever you disagree with, we would love to discuss it. We would love to debate about it. Just send us a DM on Instagram, and we'll reach out to you guys. Um, I stream. So this is a new announcement that I'm going to start doing on these shows. That I do stream every Saturdays at around 6 to 7 p.m. For about 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case may be, depending on how much content we have that day. But if you guys want to catch me on streaming, you can put a face to the voice, and you can debate me in real time and whatnot, and kind of tell me I'm stupid in the chat or some shit, whatever you want. Just maybe show some love, whatever. I stream on Twitch at Codename Soap. That is code as in CODE, name as in NAME, and then soap SOAPP, double P at the end. Remember. But yeah, I stream on Twitch. If you guys want to go check that out, every Saturday at around 6 or 7. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow if you're on Spotify and Apple Music. Rate us a 5 stars on there as well. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you drop comments. We love reading comments. Every single time you guys post comments, we read them on the next episode. If you guys have stories that you guys want to talk about, we'll read them in the Reddit segment of the show. If you guys have any criticisms, any sort of debate kind of gotcha, we can address them in the next episode as well and everything. So yeah, feel free to comment. Keep those comments flowing. We love them. We'll respond to as many as we possibly can. If there's a lot, if right now we don't really get many, so we'll definitely respond to your comment if you do comment right now. And without further ado, I always forget. We do post every Wednesdays and Fridays, so be aware of that. Sometimes we don't post on Fridays, sometimes we post on Saturdays, but it's usually every Wednesdays and Fridays. So make sure you guys subscribe, put the bell notification, turn that on, and you guys will be notified every single time we upload. And with that being said, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Maddie, how has your life been going ever since the last show on Thursday that we did with Jennifer, the first female guest on, and she was on for the second time in a row that time. We had her on the Tuesday show, or I guess the Wednesday show, and she did a very good job. It was a very entertaining show. You guys want to go check that out. A lot of debates happened on that one, feminism, all that type of shit. So, but yeah, Maddie, how has your day? How has your time been ever since the last episode?
Oh, everything's been great, man. I haven't had anything bad or any inconvenience happen, thank God. Um, just been hanging out with my friends, making memories, having fun, um, and just living life one day at a time. So everything's been good. Cannot complain.
Oh, that's good, buddy. That's good to hear. And for me, it's pretty much been the same. I went fishing the other day, so that was pretty fun. I haven't gone fishing in a while, and I went fishing with my brother, and we went down to the Keys, so it was very nice time out. Got to got to I didn't catch shit though, but at the very least, it's nice. It's nice and therapeutic. You know what I mean, to a certain degree. Just letting that line go and just waiting for something to bite or whatever the case. It's a fun activity, but I finally got to do it. Haven't been doing it in a while, and I'm gonna go back very soon. So, but that's other than that, it's been pretty quiet. thank the Lord I have another life, or sorry, another life, another day of living, another week that I spent last week, and got to spend it with my beautiful fiance and my brother and some of my family members. So it was a good time. It was a good time. Um, Today we're going to go through three different Reddit posts. One of them is Am I the Asshole? And two other ones are dating advice. So we'll start with the Am I the Asshole? And we'll move on to the dating advice ones after that. So for the beginning part. Oh, wait, sorry. Before we get into the Reddit stuff, just speaking on we kind of, every single time there's kind of like a holiday or something going on, we kind of speak about it. Lent begins tomorrow to all my Catholics out there. And I suppose all the Christians who observe Lent, but as far as I'm concerned, it's mostly just Catholics. Uh, I hope you guys take this Lent seriously. Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent, this Wednesday, March 5th. So we will be posting this on on Ash Wednesday. So hopefully you guys had a good Ash Wednesday. You hopefully were fasting and praying, and hopefully you'll be doing that all Lent season. Um, I pray for each and every one of your Lents and my own. And let's get into the show now. So, are people oh sorry, no, that's the wrong one. I'm tripping. Am I the asshole not wanting to go to my boyfriend's place because I'm being targeted? Alright, let's see. I am 20, female, and my boyfriend is 26, male. He has been having issues with his landlord, even though she cannot legally trespass me. She made it clear that she doesn't want me there. I've been telling my boyfriend I'm not sure if I should come, but he would get upset because he just got off of work and wanted to relax with me. The final straw was 2 days ago. She clearly doesn't give a crap about the law because she lied that my car was unauthorized and got it towed out of the gate community. I had to pay $400 to get my car back.
Damn.
It now
Damn.
has scratches, and I need to figure out how I'm going to take her to court for this bullshit. It is stressful, and I don't even feel comfortable going into that area because I know she is trying to harass. Sorry, she's trying her hardest to make my life miserable for me because she doesn't like my boyfriend. Yesterday, my boyfriend had a tough week at work. We were hanging out in my car, but he wanted to hang out at his place. I told him I don't feel comfortable going after she got my car towed. He said it's fine, and she can't do anything if I park my car in the public parking area down the street. I still insisted no because I just don't feel comfortable in that woman's home. This broke out into a huge argument. He said he is tired from work and already is having a shitty time, and I couldn't go out of my comfort zone to be there and support him. I told him he's being completely dismissive on how I feel because he is prioritizing his own feelings, and I am 100% justified in not going there. I want to be there to support him, but there was literally no compromise. He didn't want to stay in my car because it's cramped, and he didn't want to go anywhere else because it was late. The only solution for him, sorry, for his, for I'm assuming she meant for him, but she said it for him, for him was to go to his place. The only solution for me was to put myself in a position I don't feel comfortable with, and he feels like I'm at fault because I can't do this for him. He would do this for me, is what he said. I am frustrated because I literally got my car towed, and there's an older woman that lives in a mansion with fucking millions in disposable income targeting me. I feel like I am valid for not wanting to test her when she already gave me a warning by having my car towed. Am I the asshole? Edit for more context. I am authorized to park within the community. The landlord attempted to trespass my boyfriend and me from the community. The police came and told both her and security they cannot legally trespass us, and we were allowed in. The security staff was made aware I was authorized to park, but the position on shift, the person on shift, where when my car was towed was new. The total cost of my towing was 420, and my boyfriend paid 200. I paid the rest. All right, buddy. Is she the asshole?
Ah, okay. At least he paid half. I mean, he should have. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, I feel like I would have paid the whole thing to be honest, but
yeah. I mean, it's kind of she's there for you, bro. Like, come on, like
yeah.
But
So
I mean, I don't think she's the asshole, bro. I mean, she in the end, she got she got screwed multiple ways, and it's still getting screwed. You know, like I could understand the whole situation. Like she doesn't live there technically, and it's he's the resident. Well, come on, bro. Like it's your woman, and she's young. You're older. She's 20. He's 26. He should have a little bit more, responsibility and a sense of maturity for this type of shit, But I don't think she's the asshole. I mean, he needs to handle that type of situation, especially if he wants to continue having a relationship with her. But I mean, it's still kind of messed up since, she's already authorized to like be there type shit, like her car is like it's okay. So for that shit to happen, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, no, she knows that the landlord person is gonna try to like harass her and shit. What I would say though is that number one, that landlord probably wants to smash your boyfriend. I don't think she hates your boyfriend. I think she wants to smash. But either way, is she the asshole? I think she low key is. Um, Only because he's providing a solution by saying, like the only thing I can really think that she would actually have a point in, would be that she doesn't want her car to be towed again or some shit to happen with her car. I get it. That's a pain in the fucking ass to deal with, and she wouldn't want to deal with that. Cool. But he gave her the solution saying, listen, if you park your car in this public parking lot, you won't have to worry about that because she has no jurisdiction there. So at that point, it would just be her feelings of not wanting to feel uncomfortable and like her own brain, I guess, kind of stopping her from being there for her boyfriend or whatever. And listen, there's a lot of things we don't know. Number one, does she have her own place? And if she does, what's stopping her from going there with her boyfriend? She didn't mention that, so I can't really speculate. Number two, what does her boyfriend do for work? Because I'll tell you what, if that motherfucker is construction, he's coming home probably tired as fuck, and to have to deal with his female's fucking unreasonable fucking like fears or discomforts or whatever the case. Um, it would be annoying. I think for any man, it would probably be annoying. You know what I mean? If all he wants to do is just be with his girl and cuddle up and watch a movie and chill and whatever the case after a long hard day's work, and his girlfriend just doesn't want she would rather him be in a cramped ass car, which I don't know if y'all ever slept in a car or been in a car for a long period of time. It's pretty fucking uncomfortable, and you can't really touch the person on like that much. It's like kind of tough to touch the person and cuddle up and shit like that. It's a pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely much better to just be in like a room with like a bed and you're chilling. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like she's kind of just being difficult at that point. You know, like we've solved your problem of the car, but now it's just because you don't feel like it. You know, now you're just making it a big deal because you don't feel like it.
And she doesn't want to park in the public parking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's public parking lot. You're not gonna be towed there because it's public. So that's a solution already. You just don't want to park in that parking lot, and you don't want to be there because you feel some type of way about it. It's like at that point you're just being difficult. You're just fucking doing too much. You know what I mean? You're like, just fucking go into the place with your boyfriend. What are you gonna do? Get a little like a bad look from the landlord or whatever? Who gives a fuck? She can't do shit. We've already established this, and she can't do anything to your vehicle because it's not there. So yeah, I mean, I think I think she's kind of being an asshole. She kind of, she's just kind of being difficult, to be honest, in my opinion.
I mean, I can agree somewhat on that, but I mean, at the same time, it's kind of like there has to be a bigger resolution. There has to be something that can work in her favor. Like, yeah, she can park in the public parking and it won't cause any issues. She won't get towed again. She won't get scratches on her car. She won't have to deal with any of that. But at the same time, it's kind of like there should be some sort of benefit, not benefit, like there should be some sort of reasonable,
Compromise, you see?
yeah, compromise. That's the word, like a compromise between them for them to be able to,
Yeah, but that's the thing that I'm like seeing right now is like based off of what she put. Like for example, if one of her options was we can just go to my place, but he doesn't like my place because I live with my parents or whatever, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's a little bit unreasonable on his part. He should compromise. But she didn't mention anything of a place. The only thing she really gave as like a solution was, let me see if I can find it here. He didn't want to stay in my car because it's cramped, and he didn't want to go anywhere else because it was late. So I don't know what she means by anywhere else. Like if
stay in
she's
her
talking about,
car. So does she like live in her car?
that's what I'm thinking. Is like she didn't mention she lived anywhere. You know, so it's not like, oh, I live in my own place and she doesn't want to be there, or he doesn't want to be there or whatever. Because if that was the case, then I'd be like, bro, just go to her place, bro. I mean, although I know it probably would be a little bit annoying to have to go to your girl's place after a long day's work, at that point you're just being difficult. You know, you're the one being difficult. But no, I mean, she didn't even mention anything like that. She just said her only alternative was the car. And like I said, being in a car, for like a long period of time is uncomfy as fuck. That shit is annoying. Especially
Like,
if you're trying to like cuddle with somebody or like touch somebody or like, be with somebody and like your girl or whatever. Shit's not comfy, you know what I mean? So, and then him coming out of work, having to be in a car for like hours, it's like it's annoying, So that's the only alternative she gave besides like go like she said going anywhere else. So I don't know if she means like hanging out at a mall or if she's talking about like we can rent a motel because I wouldn't want to pay for a motel just so I can be with my girl. That would be pretty fucking annoying. So I don't know. I mean, I think based off of what she's saying and the limited information that we have, I'm just gonna go based off of what she said. I think she's being fucking difficult to be honest. Like I'd probably be pissed off too if I was the guy.
yeah,
Maybe not pissed off, but I definitely would feel pretty annoyed. Like I said, another thing we don't know is what he does for work. So it's like if he does do something like construction or like iron work or like some very laborious task or whatever the case, and he just wants to go home and chill after a long day's hard work, even more so, bro. It's like you're just being
no,
difficult.
yeah. I mean, regardless of the job, nobody, everyone just wants to go straight home and just relax and just enjoy their company. Nobody wants to have to go home to a type of situation where it's, oh, my car got towed or this and that. Your landlord's a bitch. Nobody would want to have to go home to that. You just want to go home to peace, quiet, and you just disconnect from the day. And not have to put more stress and shit, because then that just develops problems in the relationship, which then could possibly ruin it.
No, yeah, I think that's something that I had said before. Something I told my girlfriend. I'm gonna drop some fucking wisdom for you gentlemen today. Um, I'm gonna drop some wisdom real quick. What men want is R laps. Now that's spelled RLAPS. R laps. All right, so that's an acronym, and I'm gonna explain it to y'all. What men want is R respect. This is how you make your man happy. If you're a woman out there, we have, bro. I checked it today. We have 90 fucking 3% female listeners.
Oh god, it went up even
It
more.
went even it went up even more, bro. Where the fuck are the homies at, bro? What the hell? I mean, I listen. Anybody, if you're a woman and you're listening to this, we appreciate you so much. I love you very much. You guys are awesome. But where the fuck are my dudes at, bro? Where the fuck are my guys at, bro? Hey, all the girls out there, you have to have boyfriends. Get your boyfriends to listen to this damn show, bro. Because this is for the boys too, bro. Okay, anyways, let me stop. R
Mhm.
laps. All right, you're a female out there, you have a boyfriend or something, or you're a guy. Tell this to your girl. This is how you make your man happy. Respect. This is what men want. Respect. L. Love. A. Admiration.
I'm kind of scared for what P is.
P. Peace.
Oh.
And S. Sex. That's what men
Oh,
want.
okay.
I knew you were thinking pussy, but I didn't say pussy. I said peace and then sex. That's what men want, bro. If you give your man everything, everything in that acronym, you give your man that motherfucker will cherish you. He'll provide for you. He'll love you. He'll take care of you. He'll protect you for as long as he fucking lives. All right.
Okay. So it was respect, love, appreciation,
Appreciation.
uh, peace, and sex.
Yes, those five things. If your man gets those five things, you will have his fucking. You'll have him like happy as can be. He'll protect you. He'll provide for you. He'll do everything for you, no matter what, bro. And he won't complain or nothing, bro, because you're giving him all them five things. That's all a man truly wants, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the appreciation thing, you might be a little confused. Like, what do you mean by appreciation? He wants you to tell him that he's fucking Superman sometimes. Like, baby, you're my Superman. Or
Yeah, you're
or
proud of him.
yes,
You're
yes,
happy that he's doing
yes,
this.
sir.
You see the potential. Build his expectations. Like if he has like I'm pretty sure all of us guys are pretty sure you and me, Matt, are pretty known for this. We sometimes have just stupid ideas, like a lot of guys. You just have stupid ideas for shit. You like one day we'll just be chilling, like we'll be at Applebee's and we're just chilling eating, and it's like, yo, I just thought of the perfect way to create a self-toasting toaster that develops its own butter and does all this shit. Like we just think of that stupid shit. You need to hype him up. Like that's what we want. We want to be hyped up. Like, yeah, You can do it. Just think
One
about it.
hundred
You
percent,
can
bro.
get it done. Like
One
just go along
hundred
with our
percent.
stupidity.
We are so normal, right? Like as men, we are just like every other man. But we want to feel like we're fucking Master Chief or we're like some fucking Greek god. You know what I mean? We might be fat and shit, but we still want to feel like we got like 6 pack abs. You feel what I'm saying? Like your boyfriend comes home from work or your husband comes home from work, just look him in the eyes and tell him, baby, I know you provide so much for me, and I just want to say thank you for working so hard for me, and if you have kids, for our family. We just appreciate you so much, and I want you to know that I'm so proud of you, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Like, you tell your man that, bruh, that motherfucker will that motherfucker will, bro. Whatever he likes to do for you, if he likes to cook for you or
He's
some
gonna
shit,
do it 10 times
bro,
over.
he's gonna fucking appreciate the shit out of it, bro. Like that's all men really want, bro. That's all men truly want, bro. Respect, love, appreciation, peace, and sex. That's it. That's it. It's not that hard, women. It's not that hard. And men, hold your
Do the
females to
same for
that,
your
bro.
women.
Oh no, fuck! Don't do the same for your women. Women don't want
Yes,
that.
yes, yeah,
Women don't
yeah.
want
Do the
that.
same for
Women
your.
don't.
Appreciate your women. Appreciate your
Yeah,
women.
yeah. Appreciate your women. They don't want that shit though, bro. They want something different. But we can talk about that a little later. You know what I'm saying? We're getting a little bogged down here. But
Yeah.
women want something a little different there. You know what I'm saying? Women are a little more materialist, but that gets into the whole thing, man. Men don't really need much, bro. We just need that shit. We don't need you to buy us fucking J's or some shit like whatever. Just give us them shits right there. The R laps. We'll be happy. Anyways, so yeah, I think she's an asshole. Like I think she's the asshole. Not like super asshole. She's not like a fucking horrible bitch, but she is a little bit of. She's being difficult, bro. She's being difficult. Just
It's being a little unreasonable.
yeah, yeah. You're being a little difficult. Just your man's coming home from work. He's probably tired as fuck, bro. Just give him what he wants, bro. Especially if there's no like nothing bad will come to your vehicle or your property. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. I think she's the asshole somewhat, for the most part. What about you, buddy? Just again, considering what we know, and there's a lot of things we don't know, but considering what we know, I think she's being an asshole.
I mean, it kind of sucks that like what the segment that we do is am I the asshole? I wouldn't want to say a woman's an asshole, but in this it's kind of he's giving her the solutions and he's working on things to make it better, and it's kind of like she's wanting more than what he's able to give. So like it's like he's limited on what he can do, on the based off the landlord, not being able to be home because he's working and all this other stuff. So I mean, it's kind of like uh, it's kind of
Yeah, it's just you just gotta R laps, all right. But no, I think she's being a little bit of of the asshole, but but yeah, okay. Let's do it this way. 1 out of 10 asshole meter. What do you think she is?
I'd give her like a solid five,
Yeah, like five
five
would
and a
be
half.
like not the asshole and not the asshole. Like she's in between. And then like one would be she's not the asshole at all, and then 10 would be she's completely and utterly the asshole.
I'm giving her a solid five and a half.
5.5.
Yeah.
I would say more like a 6.8 to like a 7. I would say, but
Okay. Okay.
it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not. I understand where she's coming from, but she's still being difficult. So, anyways, but yeah. Anyways, we'll move on to the next one. This one's a little shorter. This is coming from dating advice. Is it smarter to date multiple people at the same time or better to stick with one at a time? I, 26 female, have gotten conflicting arguments over this topic. I personally only like to date one guy at a time and see where things go. If it's a dead end, then I let them know and move on. It takes me a while to even want to go on a date with someone after chatting on dating apps, etc. Plus, some of my friends and even family keep telling me to stop, quote unquote, putting all my eggs in one basket. Though, it is mentally draining for me to experience the ups and downs of just dating one person emotionally. And otherwise, I'd feel bad if I was dating someone and they found out I wasn't just dating them. I know that on the other side of things, guys also tend to continue dating other people and whatnot. Is it considered unloyal to date multiple people at once, or is it dumb, to only date one person at a time? What do you think, buddy?
Oh no, bro, good for her. She's a good woman with a good good morality, good respect for herself and for others. So kudos to her. Let's give her a round of applause. I completely understand, bro. And it is, yeah, there you go. Round of applause. I Round of applause. It is true, like a lot of people, especially in today's society, you'll be talking to someone on a dating app, but then like you got that coworker or that person, you've been flirting with at the Wendy's every time you go and shit like that. But I mean, I don't think you're dumb for dating one person at a time because number one, it's like she said, if she's dating somebody, let's say she's dating a fuck boy type shit, right? But he hasn't really like shown her the fuck boy shit. He's like giving her like 30% fuck boy shit. Like he's not fully there. But then she's also talking and dating, quote unquote, a nice guy, right? And then the nice guy finds out she's dating a fuck boy, he's gonna get hurt and like, damn, was I not enough? Was I not worth it? Whatever. Then he gets hurt and then she ends up with a fuck boy. She gets hurt because once he gets what he wants, which we all know what that shit's gonna be, then he leaves her, and then he moves on to the next girl who's just trying to look for a genuine connection. But I mean, dating one person at a time is the best thing for anyone to do. Especially want to respect yourself, respect your relationship, respect your body, your mentality, and just the whole dating scene in general. So I mean, I don't think she's dumb, and I don't think she should be told that she's dumb for that. Because at the end of the day, she's smart for that. Staying one person, you need to stay one person. You don't want to be, yeah, like she said, go from person to person. It is draining, but once you find the person, hey, then you're chilling. But stick to one person at a time because you need to focus on them, see what you like, don't like, and then make your ¿cómo se llama? Make your decision from there. So kudos to her for being a very good, genuine girl.
W girl, W girl. I have to say one thing to everybody out there who like dates, like you go on dating apps or let's say you meet people like in real life or whatever. To all the people who date multiple people at once or you sleep with multiple people at once, I just want to tell you one thing.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Oh shit!
But
No.
fuck those people. Sorry. Look, I'll say this: if I was in the dating marketplace right now and I was going on dates with females, if I go on a date with a girl and we're chopping it up, we're talking or whatever, and I ask her, or maybe it comes up in the conversation or something, I find out in some way, shape, or form that she got like other dates lined up like this week, and she's been on a date like right before me or some shit, or she's fucking two other guys right now or some. It's automatically a fucking goodbye. Automatically, I am uninterested. We're going 50-50 on this fucking bill. Automatically, I'm out this motherfucker. I'll tell you one thing. I understand that if you're single, you're like trying to meet more people, or you're trying to like meet a lot of people or whatever the case. The moment you decide to go on that second date with somebody, everybody else should be off the table. Everybody else should be off the table.
I
If
agree 100%.
dude, that's how it's got to be, bro. That's how it's got to be. Because, like I said, if you want, I mean, it depends what you want, of course. Because if you want to just fuck around with a bunch of people and shit like that, then that's your prerogative. Make your intentions known. But if you feel like you're the type of person who wants to like find a person you can settle down with, and you want somebody who will respect you, and if you're a woman and you're dating and you want a guy who will be chivalrous to you and be a gentleman and like he'll provide for you and all that shit, you got to act like a lady. And if you're coming off the bat with three other guys that you're going on a date with, and you got two other dates planned next week, you're not being a lady, bro. That's some hoe shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment you decide you want to go on that second date with that dude, everybody else should be cut off. Everybody else, no other prospects allowed. You know what I'm saying? And then you see what goes on with this guy. But like that type of shit is just dirty to me, bro. It's like like I said, if I was still in the dating marketplace and shit like that, and I was going out with some girl and it came up that she had like another date planned for like tomorrow or some shit, yeah, no, I'm just uninterested at that point. I can't even get my dick hard for something like that. Like I can't. So like I don't know. It's just that's my perspective. You know what I'm saying? If you are a girl or if you're a dude, even if you're a dude, Although
This
it's
goes
a
for both.
yeah, although it's a lot harder for a dude because I mean shit, the fact that you even got one girl is probably a like a really big thing for you already off the bat. So the fact that you have more than one, yeah, bro, you're you must be
I
some.
mean, I wouldn't say it's harder, but I mean, then again, if she let's say she has multiple multiple dates that week, that means there's multiple guys that are agreeing. So I mean, it goes kind of hand in hand, you know.
I mean, yeah, but think about it how they're all dating the same girl though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like four guys but for the same chick. So it's not like the guys have like multiple females. It's much harder for a dude to get multiple females to agree to go on a date with him than it is for a female to get multiple guys. Like you a girl and you tell a guy, "Hey, you want to go on a date with me?" Most guys, if they're single, and sometimes even when they're not single, but
They'll
most
say,
guys
"Hell yeah."
they'll be like, "Fuck yeah, you don't gotta tell me twice." Especially if you're a pretty girl, bro. Fuck yeah, of course. For a dude, it's like you go to a girl like, oh, you wanna go on a date with me. Majority of the time, you're getting rejected. If you're like an average dude, average job, average money, average looks, you're getting rejected, bro. But like that one, it's like it's different because that one girl that tells you yes, it's like a fucking, it's like an achievement. But for females, that one guy that tells you no, it's a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you're like average looks on both sides. But but no, yeah, like if you're somebody who goes around you're dating and shit like that in the dating marketplace, just one at a time is the best way to go about it. You start your relationship off with respect, with um consideration for the other person and shit like that. And it shows that you're dating with intention. Because if you're dating with multiple fucking dudes, you're just throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. You know what I'm saying? But if you're throwing, or if you're going on dates one guy at a time, at the very least, you're really understanding that you want to go on a date with this guy because you like this guy
Yeah,
from
and you know what you're looking for. Like you're looking for the man that's that's gonna be the father to your kids and help you with your future. Yeah.
exactly. But like if that's what you're doing from the beginning, let's say you go on one date with a dude, but you have other dates planned, whatever, bro. Like if that's how you want to live your life, but definitely I'll tell you one thing. The main thing though is if you want to go on a second date with that guy, everybody else needs to be cut off. Everybody else. That's the main thing I'll tell you.
100%.
But that's just me. That's my opinion though. My boy Maddie agrees, so moving on to the next one. Are people really that bad at texting, or they're just not that interested? So I've been on a date with a girl twice. Uh, in parentheses, dating app. Great dates with chemistry and kiss on the second date, but she never really texted much in between. And when I asked her, sorry, and then I asked her out the third time after 5 days without texting at all, and she said she was free after 1 week on Monday, and I just told her that if she didn't want to hang out, she didn't need to, and just say it. But again, she told me that people used to tell her that she's a bad texter, but that's just her way to text. Then I agreed on the day, but without planning on 6 days. After 6 days, on Sunday, again, zero texting, lol. I just felt to not plan anything and see if she would have asked me something about it. Here we are on Tuesday, and obviously no texting at all. I deleted her number, but I truly don't understand how people can be like this. In the past, I've dated girls even for short term, but they've always texted me something or even asked me out to meet. I just think there is no way someone that is really interested can stay weeks without hearing the other person. It's a human nature. When you like someone, you want to hear that person. Bad texters don't exist. Bad texters don't exist. I just don't understand why she was keeping this motherfucker is not on a type, bro. Why she was keeping accepting to go on dates if her effort is like this. I'm so confused. All right, well, that's that. What do you think, buddy? All right, but I'll give my opinion on first. So, what I would
Oh,
say
my
about
bad, bro.
no, you're
I'm
chilling, you're
so
chilling.
sorry. I forgot I was on mute.
No, you're chilling.
Oh,
Okay, so you go ahead first. Go ahead first.
my bad, brother.
No, you're chilling.
Um, so this won't even have to be from like a relationship standpoint. This is just a general. This is like everyone. Everyone is on their phone. 20, especially now more than ever. 24/7. Let me just tell y'all real quick, in case you're not aware, you have you have your smartphones, you have your smart watches, you have your laptops, you have your everything that gets you notifications for everything. I've even sometimes gotten emails when someone's trying to text me through like WhatsApp or social media, that I get an email. This person's trying to reach you 4 days ago. It's impossible to miss a message, a call, or whatever from somebody. And this is the main point. This is for everybody. This goes to everybody. Nobody is a bad texter. That does not exist in today's society. It does not. If someone truly cares, they make the fucking time to text you. Even if they have a job that their manager, the boss, whatever, is sitting right behind them, they will text you, call you no matter what. They have a lunch break, they have a break during work, they have on their way home, they have on their way to work, they have when they wake up, before they go to sleep, when they're laying down, disconnecting for the next day. No, that does not exist. And if you're like in the talking quote unquote stage and someone doesn't talk to you, like let's say his situation, right? He said he texted her, she didn't respond for what, like 4 or 5 days, Matt? That's what he said.
He said after 6 days.
After 6 days, bro. After day three, I would even say, bro, after day two, right? Yo, delete the number, block it, do what you got to do. Next, and that goes for both girls too. If you text a guy, he doesn't respond 2 days, 3 days, yo, block, delete.
Yeah, he fucking some
Next.
other bitch, bro.
Yeah, yeah, or he just, he's not interested because, like I said, if someone truly cares and they're interested, they'll make the time because everyone's on their phone. Everyone gets a ding. Everyone. So if they don't respond, you know what? They're not interested because, like I said, being a bad texter, being a bad communicator in today's society, when everybody has a smartphone and everyone's always connected to the internet, I guarantee you. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your text. I've been busy at work. Look at their screen time at the end of every day. Guarantee you that shit's like a 12, 13 hours. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, guaranteed. So you know what? If someone doesn't respect you enough to respond, again, this is for guys and girls. If someone doesn't respect you enough or give two shits enough to respond, at least an hour or two later, 3 hours, it's happened to me a couple of times. I get stuck in a project at work and it's like, damn, I can't touch my phone because I don't have any time. I got to get things done. That's understandable. A few hours, understandable. But days, bro, take the hint. Save yourself from the overthinking, from the stressing, from anxiety, whatever you would feel. Save yourself from that. Respect yourself enough to know when you're wanted. And if somebody doesn't respond for days, especially Pobrecito, this guy, 6 days, yo, my G,
Yeah, bro, that's just cooked.
either this is the first girl that has responded to you in like 15 years and you were holding on to every thread of hope, or he was actually very interested. But Pobrecito him. But you know what, people? If they don't respond, but at least by the end of the day, maybe even the next morning, and I mean like maximum next morning. Nah, yeah, that's it. They're done because you cannot miss a text, you can't miss a call. That's not how that shit works. I guarantee you, they're on the phone, FaceTiming, Instagram, or whatever. They see your message, swipe it up, and then they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's a matter of interest, right?
Hundred
And
percent.
yeah, at the end of the day, if she's interested, she's gonna fucking text you. She's gonna, even if she's bad at texting, because there are people like that where like they'll be dry as shit or whatever. They just don't know how to articulate themselves very well in the texting format.
See, that's a bad texter. Like
Yeah,
they don't know how to really keep a conversation. Like it's the, hey, how you doing? Oh, good at work. Oh, nice. How's your day going? Good. Waiting for the end of the day. Oh, that's nice. And then I see another conversation.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
bad texter.
yeah. Those are
That's
like,
a bad
yeah.
texter.
There's people like
N-
that. There's people like that.
Yeah, 100%. But this does not qualify as a bad texter. This just qualifies as an asshole who doesn't have the cojones enough to just tell you, hey, not interested. I'm, don't talk to. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, move on.
Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's just a matter of interest, bro. Again, there are people who are not good texters or whatever the case, but they'll still text you. If they're interested, they will still text you. You will still get a message from them. Maddie said that, like, after a day, at the very least, like in the next morning. I think life happens. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens sometimes. and you might just completely forget because you have like things in your brain that's going on at 1,000 miles an hour, whatever the case. At the very least, the next day, I'm texting that person that I'm really interested in, bro. Like, let me tell you something. When I went on my first date with my girl, I could not stop thinking about her for fucking like weeks after. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if I'm busy, I'm doing some shit, I'm still gonna text her. I'm still gonna communicate because I want to hear from her because I like her. I'm interested, and she would do the same. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. It's interest. You know what I'm saying? She's interested in you. She'll text you. She'll make it known. She'll plan the fucking dates out herself if she has to. She will make it known. But if she's not interested, she'll also make it known by doing the same thing that this guy went through. At the end of the day, bro, the best, and I think I can speak for most guys when I say this, the best type of females to be with are the girls who simp for you, bro. If she simps for you and she's like madly in love and she just you're her favorite person type shit, bro. That's a W relationship. That's a W female. But
Oh, 100%.
we
Can I add
100%.
on to that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My bad. I don't mean to cut you out,
No,
but
you're
I
fine.
want to
You're
add
fine.
to
Go ahead.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
What Matt said is true, bro. Of course. Who, and this goes for ladies too. Who wouldn't want somebody that, simps over them? Let's say, because that's the word we use nowadays. What girl wouldn't want the guy that's always texting, always calling, making sure she's good, she ate, this and that. Vice versa. What guy wouldn't want a girl, hey, how was your day? Did you have lunch? How was work? Blah, blah, blah. And what we also want, ladies, it's kind of like 50-50, but it's truly what we want. We want that type of, not jealous, but if you're jealous, that lets us know. It annoys us because you might get insecure, might get upset, and it goes for both guys and girls. We want the jealousy. We want, who's that bitch I saw you talking to? You mean 80-year-old Martha, who's my manager? Yeah, that's my manager. She's 80 years old, you know? Oh, okay. Go talk to Martha. That's what we want. We want that type of shit because that lets us know you truly care. Because if a woman, if your partner is not somewhat jealous about something, right? Your friends, your coworkers, your managers, your this and that, then that means that they don't truly care, or they're not. I don't want to say scared, because that's it's kind of like a the like that's like a unpowerful, like it fuck, what am I trying to say? It's a word that like takes power away from you. But if they're not like worried or jealous that they have a chance of losing you, or somebody's trying to slide on you, they'll we don't want that. We
Yes.
want somebody who's
Yeah.
gonna, we want that type of shit,
It's the value they find within you, bruh. Because if I
Yeah.
have a fucking car that I find to be extremely valuable to me, bruh, I will not park that shit in any sketchy location. I'm gonna make sure that shit's locked all the time. I'm gonna make sure that I have nothing really valuable in there to the point where somebody will look at it and try to steal it. I'm gonna make sure that I keep that car safe no matter what, bruh. If I don't really fuck with my car though, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna leave that shit parked wherever, just as long as I have the keys. Maybe I lock it, maybe I don't. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, you value something, you're gonna protect it. You're gonna be jealous over it. It's gonna be something that you're possessive over. You know what I'm saying? People like to, that's like a buzzword. People like to think of that in a negative way or whatever the case. Jealousy is a good thing. Jealousy is important. It's like, oh, my girl can do whatever she wants, bro. She can go hang out with this dude or whatever, like her best friend, her boy best friend or whatever. Like, it is what it is, bro. I trust her. I trust her. People think that, like, when you get jealous and shit like that, it's because you don't trust your partner. But that's not the case at all. You value your partner so much that you see these things as possible detractors in your relationship, and you want to avoid that shit at all costs because you value her so much. You know what I'm saying? And debate me about it. Fucking fight me about it. Anybody who's listening to this and disagrees thinks I'm going crazy because, oh, you're controlling, or you're just insecure, or you're possessive, or whatever the case. Fight me about it, motherfucker. Come on, get on the show. Tell me how you disagree.
I
Bro,
wouldn't even
come on.
think it's possessive. It's just,
You
it's like you said about the car. You
you'd
love
be
your car, you
surprised,
take
bro.
care of your car. That's your car,
Yeah, you'd be
you
surprised, bro.
know?
There's a lot of people nowadays who would say that shit. It's like, oh, you're being possessive, you're being controlling, you're being you're insecure, whatever the case. You'd be surprised, bro. There's a lot of people nowadays who have that type of mentality. Crazy.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. But I mean, if you love something, you take care of it. Shit, I don't let, bro. I have my friends. They've been my friends. They're my family, and they actually listen to our show. So you guys know who you are. Y'all are my family. And it's like the car situation. You know, I'm a car guy. My car is my baby. You know, I take care of her, wash her, keep her clean, premium gas, oil changes. You know, I add modifications here and there. It's my car. I take care of my car like it's my baby. And my friends who are my ride or dies, and I mean that wholeheartedly, don't drive or touch my car unless I'm mentally incapable driving my car. But that goes to say in a relationship too. You love your woman, you take care of her, provide for her, she's your everything. But at the end of the day, you don't want your homies taking her for a ride. So it's not possessive.
Facts.
It's protecting. I don't want to say your property because that just sounds fucked up.
No, but your
But it's
property, bro.
protecting what's
She's your
yours.
fucking property, bro.
No, no, I mean, because sometimes people be like, "That's my man's.
Yeah,
That's my
that's
ass."
how it is, bro. At the end of the day, you get into a relationship, a serious one. You're looking for marriage, all that type of stuff. At the end of the day, she's your property, and you know what I'm saying. You're her
Vice
property.
versa.
Yeah, you're her
Yeah,
property. At the
hundred
end of the day,
percent,
that's what it is, bro. Like you're for each other. There's no sharing. There's no, yeah, I'll let you have her for a weekend or whatever. No, fuck that shit. She's mine.
100%.
She's only
Yeah,
mine, and I'm only hers. Plain and simple. That's it.
100%. Because you don't know how your homie. You know how your homie drives. You know how your friends drive. You don't want them to be reckless with her, because then that just shows you didn't value it, and you were pretty much lying the whole time.
Yeah,
You need to value
I
it the
only trust
same way.
myself with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Type shit like that. I only trust myself with my car. I only trust myself with my girl. I'm not about to lend that shit to somebody who just cause he's my what? Cause he's my fucking homie? Like get out of my face, bro. You have your own shit, bro. Stick to your own shit, all right? And if you don't have one, get your broke ass up and go get some. You know what I'm saying? But
100%.
yeah, no, that's that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, just to get back to the actual dating advice post, if
Oh, right.
you if you're with a girl or you're dating a girl, whatever, if she's not texting you, she's never responding to your messages, and she's really bad at texting, quote unquote. She just not interested, brother. Because if she was,
100%.
she would text you, bro. And on top of that, if you make this like agreement in your brain where you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna talk to her about the next date. I'm just gonna let it be and see if she texts me. If she's interested, she will set the date herself, bro. She will push for that date. But if she's not interested, she just won't, bro. And I think that's what this guy's going through. At the end of the day, she's just not interested in you, brother. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. And this advice I'm gonna give to everybody, guys and girls, everybody. If you're talking to someone, y'all go out. You don't hear anything after 2 days. Literal 2 full days. Not the day of the last text and then tomorrow's day one. No, tomorrow starts. Yeah, I mean, yeah, tomorrow starts day one. The day after that, if you don't hear anything by midnight that night, oye, thanks for the date. Sorry you wasted your money and your time. Oye, go look for the next person that's gonna help you and make you happy because that shit does not fly.
Bro, you just mentioned money, and that just came up. That just reminded me. If you're a dude and you're going on a date with a girl like this who's never responding to your messages, but she's saying yes whenever you ask her to go out, if you're paying for her shit, that's probably why, brother. She's getting a free meal from your ass. Okay, so don't be a chump. Don't pay for her shit. If she doesn't want to respond to your messages, she doesn't want to show that effort, she doesn't want to be interested enough, then brother, 50-50, all right? Get what you need from her and get the fuck going on. Because at the end of the day,
50-50 or nothing, man. Fuck that shit.
yeah, bro, pay for your own shit, bro. You go out with her or something like that. If you do, she's not showing that interest, sorry. You go out, you get some food, you pay for your shit, let her pay for her own, bro. That's it. She wants to be friends. She wants to treat you like a homie. Bet. You can pay for your own shit. I'll pay for my own. And that's how we're gonna run this relationship. Or this friendship, I'm sorry. That's it. Plain and simple.
Friendship. I wouldn't even want to be friends after that type of shit
Facts.
because I my friends are people because there's a difference, bro. A lot, and that's today, bro. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, it's my friends from work." No, 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 no. Those are your coworkers. Those are your acquaintances. Friends are the people you talk to at least daily or weekly, have long, meaningful conversations, have good conversation, and you're proactive with them. You see them, you hang out, this and that. Not, oh yeah, I talk to my buddy at work every day. No, no, that's not a friend. Friend is people you talk to outside of work. You get along with, you hang out, you make moves, you do things. That's a friend, not that whole other bullshit that everyone likes to get confused.
Yeah, no, I mean, people like to use that shit loosely, but at the end of the day, bro, if you realized that every time you would go out, you'd pay for all of her shit, bro, Yeah, I think you know why she. I think you know why she went out with you, bro. You're a free meal. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I don't know if you have any final thoughts on this, buddy.
I said what I had to say, but I'll just say it one last time just to drop the mic. Anybody, guys, girls, if they don't respond after 2 days, drop their ass, block them, delete them. Don't even send a message to be petty. Don't do nothing. Just block, delete, move on.
I agree. I agree. Just she's not showing interest.
Bye.
Goodbye. Exactly. All right. Move on to the next thing. I want to do a couple of religious talks real quick. Just like super fast before we move on to the meat of the show. Although I would argue this is definitely more meaty than anything else. But anyways, first things first. Lent is approaching, guys, and I want to give a call to action to everybody who's listening, to everybody who is either a part of the church or is thinking about being a part of the Catholic Church, and you're on the fence or whatever the case, or maybe you're not sure about Christianity in general. I implore you to fast this Lent, starting on Ash Wednesday, ending on Easter Sunday. Fast and pray. Pray your fasting, and dive into the Word of God. Dive into sacred Scripture, into the works of the early church fathers like Saint Augustine of Hippo, of Saint Thomas Aquinas, Saint Francis of Assisi. Dive into the literature, dive into the church, and immerse yourself in this Lent. Immerse yourself in fasting, in almsgiving, and just be a part of God this Lent. It's a beautiful part. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And I just want to read this little thing real quick, and we'll move on to the next thing right after. Journey into the desert, ancient and evergreen, captivating and austere. This is Lent in its simplest, richest, and most traditional sense. This Lent, we challenge you to reclaim the sacred discipline of daily fasting, a practice that, though unfashionable, remains as vibrant and fruitful as ever. Just as our Lord fasted in the desert, preparing his heart for the mission that would change the world, we too must journey into his holy season into this holy season with reverence and purpose. Will you answer the call to make this Lent a profound time of transformation and renewal? So there's that call to action, guys. Give me 1 second to get the next thing real quick. All right, so this is a quick note about fasting, just so you guys understand what I mean when I say this. In accordance with the church's current guidelines, fasting entails one full meal with two smaller meals that together do not equal the main meal, and a conscious avoidance of snacks. As an additional form of penance while fasting, one may choose to abstain from animal products such as milk, cheese, eggs, and meat, which reflects the ancient norms of fasting practiced by the early church. According to canons 1251 and 1252, Catholics are required to abstain from meat on Fridays throughout the year unless it's a solemnity. Fasting and abstinence are also required on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. The law of abstinence applies to all individuals who have reached the age of 14, while the law of fasting applies to adults up to their 16th year. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say fasting. So the way I'm gonna do it is a little different. I'm not gonna eat meat or any sort of meat products, or any sort of animal products. I apologize. Throughout the entire period of Lent, and then on Ash Wednesday it's a black fast, which means I don't eat throughout the whole day, and then on Easter it's a black fast, which means I don't eat throughout the whole day. So that's the way I'm gonna be doing it. That's how they used to do it back in the early church days. There was a thing that they said there where it was one full meal and then two smaller meals that do not equal the main meal. That's how they tell you to do it, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just doing one simple meal throughout the entire day, and that's how it's going to be for me. But either way, guys, the fasting, it's a good way to center yourself and make sure you pay attention to the thing that is most important, and that's our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and
Amen.
and focusing on prayer and your time with Him and understanding His Word. These are the things that are most important in life, guys. And this Lent, I want to make a call to action to get you guys to put yourself in that position, and really get yourself closer to the Word of God, and and with Him in general. So that's all I have to say about that. Now, the next thing is similarly religiously speaking about Pope Francis. He is going through medical turmoil at the moment. He is having respiratory issues. He had acute liver failure, but that seemed like it has passed. But he's been having asthma attacks. He's in the hospital right now, very uh, somewhat severe, but he's getting better, and then he's getting worse, and then he's getting better. So he's in a tough place right now, health wise. So again, if you're a Catholic or even if you're Christian, as a fellow human being, as your fellow neighbor, pray for him. If you're a Catholic, put him in your rosary. If you're a Christian, pray for him, and pray uh, for his
Speedy recovery.
his restoration of health, his speedy recovery, as Maddie put. Maddie, do you have anything you want to say about Lent or anything of the sort? Or you want to just move it on, buddy?
But we'll move it on.
All right, beautiful. So the first topic we're going to get into today is something that I went over on my stream on this past Saturday that just passed. The Trump and Zelensky meeting. I reacted to the whole thing. It was like 50 something minutes long. Maddie, have you heard about that meeting? Have you watched it or anything of the sort?
I have not watched the entire full thing, but I researched and I pretty much gained what all the what the whole meeting was about.
Yeah, so obviously we can't watch it right now. If we could, I'm not gonna lie, I would play it right now. But did you watch the main clip of when they were starting to argue?
I mean, there was multiple times, but I probably most likely I did.
Okay, so um, did you actually though? Like, do you know what went on? Like what they said and all that shit?
Yeah.
What do you think about it, buddy? What are your thoughts on that interaction between Zelensky
Ugh.
and JD Vance and Trump in that I forgot, is that the Oval Office? Yeah, the Oval Office, I think.
Um. I really love to see how um the American the political party that's in power right now
When I was young, I wanted to be.
was very headstrong and not being pushover, um and was in favor of the American people for this situation. I really love how they were not taking any bullshit and they were saying things straight up and saying how it is. Um it's very nice to see that again because instead of just providing our taxpayers dollars and money for a war that has nothing to do with us, we were trying to bring peace, not just for our country, but for all countries that could potentially get involved, are getting involved, and could possibly have a full blown war where millions or thousands, hundreds of thousands have to die unnecessarily. So I really love to see how JD Vance, JD Vance and Donald Trump were fighting for the American people.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. On my first watch of that meeting, I remember we were at work actually, and George was the one who. Well, actually, I saw it on my own. 'Cause I saw it trending on Twitter and whatnot. But then George kind of brought it up to me, and we started talking about it a little bit. I didn't know what to think at the beginning because it was like, bro, in the middle of the Oval Office, on display for millions and millions of people to see. Um, we have like two countries' leaders just arguing about something on live television. It's just, it was very very peculiar to me. I will say something I'm gonna echo something you said. I do like the transparency of the meeting and kind of showing what's going on behind, or I guess a little sneak peek as to what's going on behind closed doors. Um, I watched the full interview, as I had mentioned. Uh, this is the thing I will say about it, and it's something that's really kind of irking me. Is Zelensky came into the Oval Office? He came into the United States of America, who has been providing him money and ammunition and weapons for the past 4 years, well, 3 years that they've been at war with Russia, and they under the Biden administration, that's what's been being provided to them. Trump came in, and Trump has been kind of in a position of, I'm not taking any sides. I just want the war to end. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he's trying to do. And Zelensky, on the other hand, does not want the war to end. He wants to keep fighting, and he wants to beat Russia, which he never will because he doesn't have the manpower and he doesn't have the the power in general to be able to do that, or the landmass. He's at a disadvantage in a lot of different ways. Now, I think this is what I'm thinking. I think his like strategy right now is to try to provoke a World War III. That is the only way he'll be able to actually win this war, is to get to eventually get boots on the ground from NATO members, and then NATO gets attacked by Russia, or they attack Russians and Russians retaliate, and then next thing you know, Article 5 is done, and the Americans have to get in, every other country in NATO has to get in, and then it's a full-blown world war, which I think that's what Zelensky low-key wants, which is why,
That's how it's looking. Yeah.
yeah, which is why he got so pissed off at Trump trying to just um, aiming for peace, I suppose, aiming for a ceasefire, because that's not what he wants. He wants to win the war, but the thing he doesn't understand is that this shit is not this isn't a TV show, bruh. You're gonna lose this damn war. It's not realistic for you as the Ukrainian president to be continuing this war when you have another option, which is peace. You know what I mean? At the very least, stopping the war in general and saving whatever land you have left. I do understand his position where, Putin came in, he took a bunch of land, and, he took it forcefully. He invaded the country. I get it. But you gotta, you're at a disadvantage. You gotta just pack up what you can and just, bro, just be able to live to fight another day, and like appreciate that you still got your country left. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And one thing that I don't think he seems to understand is that if it wasn't for the Biden administration providing billions and billions of dollars and military equipment, he would have lost Ukraine within 2 weeks, like Trump said.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And at the end of the day, like he was talking in the meeting, he was extremely disrespectful, in my opinion. He was kind of being passive aggressive. He can't like outward say the things he wants to say to Trump because he knows that he's not in a position to make demands, but he's low key trying to like influence Trump in an emotional way, or in like using his pride against him to try to get what he wants, which I think is extremely disrespectful. And he went into that place and he was telling them how he was talking about like Europe, and Europe is like a good ally and whatnot, and how Europe is like a really good ally and whatnot, and how they've given him so much. And Trump was like, "Oh, we've given a lot more though." And then Zelensky was like, "Nope, nope, you guys have not." Like, nope, which I think is fucking completely crazy for him to do. But when we look at the numbers, when it comes to all European countries versus what the United States have given, yeah, altogether Europe has given more to Ukraine than the US has. But you got to understand, this is all European nations put in one. The US is one nation, bro. And we've given very close to the same amount of money to Ukraine, the same amount of aid, than all the European nations put together, which kind of puts things into perspective. How much we've been getting fucking reamed by Ukraine in this whole entire fiasco, this whole entire war that's been going on. Trump is refusing to even give him more money because at the end of the day, like I said, what he's looking for peace. He's looking for the war to end, not for Ukraine to win, which I think is smart. And Europe just gave them 2.6, I think it was 2.6 billion euros. They just gave it to him. So it seems like the war is going to keep going for a while, but yeah, I mean,
And I don't think you even saw that newest thing they gave Europe. Also, one of the European nations gave them $34.2 billion. I don't want to say dollars because their currency, but
my euro.
yep,
They gave him more.
34.2. Yep.
God, bro.
But here's the thing: for people who are unaware of the situation, Putin said that if Europe was to get involved, that he would go nuclear. Which, if anyone's aware, that's not good for anybody.
Oh, of course. And I think that's what he wants at the end of the day. That's what Zelensky wants because he knows that by himself, just Ukraine, they're gonna lose against Russia, regardless of how much like money they're getting or whatever the case. But if he's able to like provoke some sort of um, multinational like conflict where now more European nations are coming in and trying to kill people or whatever, or trying to go into war, whatever the case, or defend Ukraine or whatnot, then he knows that at the very least at that point it will trigger something way bigger, and he'll actually have a chance of winning. You know, he can't do it alone, so he's trying to trigger everybody else to join him. So that's what I'm seeing. And off this interview, that's what I saw as well. He doesn't want peace. He doesn't want the war to end. He wants to win the war, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. But Europe just gave a bunch more money, and the U.S. has like Trump was like, bro, we're not giving you no more money, bro, and he's not giving them any more money. So to a certain degree, it's bad that Europe is now giving them money because obviously it's continuing the war and all that stuff, and we don't want that to happen. But it's also good that the U.S. is no longer giving him money. You know, it's like they can do whatever they want. Europe can give you money if they fucking want, bro, but we're not anymore. You know, the taxpayers aren't funding that stupid shit. So at the very least, there's that. Now all that's left is for actually I can't even say that on YouTube because they get really salty about that. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that shit. That meeting was crazy. The clip where they started arguing was fucking insane. I thought like I had Trump and Vance in like a really bad light in my head after watching that clip, but then I saw the whole entire interview and I was like, bro, that's justified as fuck, bro. That's justified. Zelensky was over here trying to push Trump into making a decision to keep giving them money or whatever. He didn't really want the mineral deal. He kind of just wanted more money. That's why he was there, and he was kind of making demands, but understanding that he can't make the demands directly, so he's gonna do it in like a little sly way. And Trump was like, no, nope, you're not coming into my country and making fucking pussy demands. Get out of my face, you
Yeah,
fucking
100%.
Ukrainian pig.
Which in the reality, if Zelensky would have signed that treaty, that even for those who aren't aware, that Putin even said himself, he will cease fire. He will give back the land to Ukraine, some of the land, not all of it, but for some reason he didn't want to give all of it.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
Whatever.
he's made headway in that war. Come on, that's
Yeah.
shit that they've
So
controlled. You know.
yeah, 100%. So Putin himself said, "I'll give you back the land, but you got to pay me for it." you know, and I mean, it's whatever, but it's. He said he was ceasefire, give back the land, but of course he wants to get paid for it. And Trump would have Americans in the mines in Ukraine, working on the mines in Ukraine, gathering material. That way, not not pretty much not having America involved in the war, but pretty much giving a security to Zelensky that if anything happens, like if Russia bombs again, Trump pretty much said, "Hey, I'm having Americans over here. That way, if something goes wrong and one of our people gets hurt, then we get involved. But for right now, we are not involved because we do not want a war, and we don't want all this meaningless, death and all this shit that Zelensky seems to want, bro. Which is very upsetting because it doesn't sound like he's for his people right now. I think he's just trying to get as much money from all these nations and everything just to continue the war.
Yeah, and I think to echo that point of the him putting Americans in mines over there and shit, I think there's so many people in that interview, that meeting, that were asking Trump about security, national security. What security what security measures are you going to provide Ukraine in this deal? I think the mineral deal in and of itself is a security measure, inadvertently a security measure. I think people underestimate how much the world is afraid of touching the United States of America, especially established nations like Russia. So if you have Americans on the ground doing work over there in Ukraine, that in and of itself is already security for Ukraine.
They
Cause
can't touch you.
yeah, bro. If Putin decides to start invading again, he knows he's gonna have to go through American people, American citizens who are there, who are working in this deal that the U.S. have agreed to with Ukraine. Not only and at that point, Putin's not gonna want to do that because he's gonna be killing Americans, and that's gonna be provoking the United States of America, and he fucking definitely doesn't want that shit.
Oh,
But then furthermore, something that it also provides Ukraine, that's another aspect of this deal that's phenomenal for them, is extreme economic opportunity, especially on like coming off the back of a war with Russia, which has been very costly. You're in debt to a lot of nations. You need some economic growth in your country. This mineral deal would provide that on top of everything else. Like you'll have a lot of money coming your way because the U.S. is paying for all these minerals that are coming out of your earth. So I don't know. I think the deal was actually a very good one. But Zelensky doesn't want it because
100%.
what he wants is he wants more war. He wants to keep fighting, and he wants Putin to pay. He doesn't want the logical solution. He wants the vengeance, the revenge solution, which is stupid. It's hubris, and he's gonna lose his country if he keeps doing that shit. Or he's gonna launch us into a World War III, which is what Trump was saying. You're playing with World War III, which is completely true. He's playing with World War III, and he wants to keep doing that shit on what's it called on the backs of all the Ukrainian men who are giving their lives for that country, and who
Not
are
even that, the poor children and women who are just getting bombed and everything.
100%. And now he has to go conscript younger men. You know what I'm saying? To fight this war because he has a personnel problem. He doesn't have as many people on the ground as he used to. So at the end of the day, you know, he's playing with World War III. He's playing with human lives, and I mean, I got no respect for that motherfucker. That guy's a fucking pig, and he came into this country making subtle demands, and Trump said get the fuck out. So I'm just glad we're not paying for that war anymore. That's the best thing. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. But if you have anything else left to say, or we could just move it on.
I really hope and genuinely pray that Zelensky makes up his mind for the better, not just of his country, but for every country and every human life on this planet, and signs that deal because it benefits everybody. It's a win-win situation to spare the lives of all these men and women that for no reason will have to go to war and die.
Oh, 100%, buddy. My prayers are to all the people who have lost their lives in that war, and all the people who will unfortunately have to lose their lives because of the leaders' indecision and lack of peace talks. Um, and I also pray the war ends very soon, buddy. That's it's a horrible time period for those people over there, you know.
Yep.
And just another example on how women shouldn't have the right to vote. Because how in the world,
Oh my
bro?
God.
I don't know if you,
How?
bro. I
Why,
because
bro?
I don't know if you saw, but I saw this thing where, and it's true because it's been proven that there at the beginning of that war, and still to this day, there are women who have been evacuated from the country to like neighboring countries. Who, when they go to these neighboring countries, what they do is they start partying. They go to clubs. They start going on Tinder. They start getting They start like you could see them on Tinder and shit like that, like Ukrainian refugees or whatever the case. And they start going on Tinder. They start fucking a bunch of dudes. They start going to clubs and shit like that, bro.
What?
And then the men on
I'm
the
so
other,
lost.
yeah, because look, when Putin started invading, the men they had to do a draft, and the men were getting drafted, not the women, because that's not how they do it. Obviously, that's not how any country does it for the most part. The men were getting drafted, and they were getting sent to war, and the women were being sent away from Ukraine because they obviously were getting bombed and all that shit. The women were being sent oftentimes to other countries that were like neighboring Ukraine, and when they would go to these countries, they would be seen on Tinder. They would be seen in the clubs dancing and drinking and shit, and they were fucking a bunch of dudes over there in those other countries. Bro, tell me how the fuck as a woman you get to do that and live comfortably and get your pussy fucked by a bunch of dudes and shit from
Oh
other
God.
countries, and then you have the men who have to go to war. Have to. They don't even have the choice. They have to go to war and give their lives for their country in horrendous ways, just killing people, getting blown up and all this type of shit. And women are out here hoeing themselves out in Tinder. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Women should definitely not have the right to vote. Not because they're bad, but because at the end of the day, this is just one example that shows that the responsibilities are far greater in society that men have to hold versus the ones that women do. Plain and simple. But I just added a little bit of voting thing in there. Beautiful. But that's all I have to say on that. That's my TED talk. Maddie, I don't know if you have any last words on this topic or if you want to move
I
on.
don't know how the correlation for that came up, my boy.
What you mean? That was the whole entire conversation of voting that we had the other day or the other podcast.
But what does a woman voting have to do with you saying going on Tinder, fucking, and all this
Because
shit?
it goes to show that a woman's responsibility is way less than a man's. Like if we have a war going on, and the dichotomy of women being in other countries on Tinder and getting fucked by a bunch of men and going to clubs and shit, and then flip that over, and then you have men who are in the battlefield, fucking in a war zone, battlefield all the time, getting blown up, shooting people, all this type of crazy bad shit that nobody would ever want to experience. Just the difference in experience between men and women in this war, which is pretty recent. I mean, it's happening right now. It just goes to show the level of disparity in responsibility that men and women have to adhere to. And again, responsibility bears privilege. Men should have the privilege of voting, and women should not. I mean, this war is just an example of it, and that's what we were talking about when we were talking
But
about.
it's not like women voted for this war to happen.
I mean, if women vote, right? If women are able to vote, especially let's just say in the United States, who are the people that send us to war and that approve war and all this type of shit? It's the politicians.
I mean,
The,
yeah,
the politicians are the ones that are choosing whether or not we go to war. And at the end of the day, who's electing these politicians? It's women and men, not
exactly.
just men, right? And if let's just say we have one person, we have two candidates, right? One candidate is running on going to war. Their whole entire, or one of the main points of their what's the word, of their candidacy or whatever the case, or what's that shit called? Bro, I'm slow right now. Of their, dude, what the hell?
Hmm.
When like somebody's running for president, one of the aspects of their,
Oh shit! No, I know the. Oh damn! Now I forgot the
dude,
word
what's the
too.
word, bro? Fuck.
Oh, no, they're not running. They're
Yeah, what's the word?
oh shit! Hold on.
Dude, it's on the tip of my tongue. Fuck it, whatever.
Candidacy
Of their campaign. There we go, campaign.
campaign.
One of the aspects of their campaign, let's say candidate A, one of the biggest aspects of their campaign is they say they're gonna send this country to war versus Canada, let's just say, whatever. And then the candidate B is saying that they're not going to send us to war. Instead, they're going to do some sort of peace thing. Let's say every woman in this country decided to vote for candidate A, and every man in this country decided to vote for candidate B. Women outnumber men in this country. We would be going to war. Men would be going to war for a candidate that they didn't even vote for. It was women who voted for the candidate that sent men to war. Women don't even have to worry about that shit. They're not going to war. They don't have to worry about the effects of war or the battlefield or getting blown up or anything like that. Men have to worry about that shit, even though it was the women who were the ones who voted for the president who sent us to war. That shit is stupid. If men have to be the ones who are responsible for the protecting of the nation, or for the protection of the nation, and be the ones who are drafted into going to a war that they don't want to fight, then they should be the ones making the decision as to who is elected president, who is elected senator, who's elected representative, whatever the case may be. Because those are the people that are going to be making the decision as to whether or not we go to war. That shit just is that shit that makes the most sense to me.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no real decision. No one person who makes the decision of when or how we go to war. It depends on if we get attacked and what the outcome of that situation will be.
Yeah, well,
In
the
reality,
president is when it comes to the system of whether or not we choose to go to war, the president of the United States is the one directly who petitions Congress to go to war. So if the president
and all
says we don't,
presidents up to date have been a man. So it's a man that sends us men to war.
yeah, but regardless of whether or not it's a man sending us to war, it was a person who was elected by women, right? So for example, if Justin Trudeau sent his people to war, it doesn't matter that he's a man, because most of the women, or most of the people in that country that elected him there, were women. So like regardless of whether or not you're a man or a woman, you were elected by women. and you're the one who's sending us to war. You know what I'm saying? It's like Justin Trudeau has done a bunch of stupid shit for Canada. He's a piece of shit president or prime minister or whatever, but he was elected by women. Majority of the people who elected him were women. You know what I'm saying? Um, Regardless of whether or not you're a man who's sending people to war or whatever, it doesn't matter because women were the ones who elected you. And with women's vote, now I have to go to war because a woman voted for this guy to be in the office. That's just stupid to me. It's fucking stupid. But that's just, I don't know. That's just my perspective. That's just what I was seeing or what I was saying. But like, that's what like if men are the ones who have to pick up that sword, if there was ever an instance in which there had to be a draft, men have to be the one to pick up that sword, whether they like it or not. We should have the privileges to decide the people who make decisions in the country, because one of the biggest decisions there ever is to make is whether or not we go to war. And yeah, we have the responsibility of defending the country. We should get the privileges of being able to choose who makes those laws and those decisions. I really,
100%. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's a man that's sending us to war. He signs the paperwork to send us men to war. So a man is sending men to war, regardless of women voting for the man.
Yeah, but that's apex fallacy. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yeah, it is a man who is sending us to war. But at the end of the day, who's the one who put that man into power? If it was actually for men, like if it was actually up to men, we would have put the other person in power who didn't send us to war. So at the end of the day, regardless of whether it's a man, a woman, or non-binary who's president of the United States and sending us to war, they were still voted in by women. And women were the ones who made the decision to put this person in office that will send us to war. Doesn't matter if they're a man, like because at the end of the day, it's like saying, oh, men are being forced into slave labor because the government decided this, and then a woman goes, yeah, but it was a man who decided that. It's like, okay, that's one man, and you're speaking that one man made this decision, and therefore millions of other men who have to deal with the consequences, their suffering doesn't matter because a man was the one who sent them. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, even though the women were the ones who voted for that. It's like one person, just because they're a man, now that means that all men are responsible for that decision. Of course not. They don't want that shit to happen. Simply because one man did it, women were the ones who put him in the office.
But at the end of the day, men also vote. So it's also a man that puts that man into office.
Yeah, but like I told you, if there were two candidates, one candidate was running on the back of we're going to go to war, and the other one wasn't, and all women voted for the one that wanted to go to war, and all men voted for the one that didn't want to go to war, the women would win, and the one, what's it called? The candidate who goes to, the candidate who wants to go to war would be elected into office, and men would have to go to war because
But
women.
who's to say that women would vote for war?
I'm just saying, like in this theoretical situation where all women would vote for the war one and all men would vote for the non-war one, women outnumber men in this country, so women would win that vote, and we would go to war on the backs of women's decisions, or rather, yeah, collectively women's decisions to send us to war.
You're right, but we don't live in that fantasy. We live in the world where men and women vote, and we have a man in office, and the man is the one that sends us to war. So at the
Yeah,
end of the day, it's men.
I mean, we live in a world where Joe Biden was president because most women voted for Joe Biden. We live in a world where most women, or the reason why most women put down as to why they voted for who they voted for this election was because of abortion, democracy, and what was the other thing? Fucking rights or some shit like that. We live in a world where Justin Trudeau, being the Prime Minister of Canada, who sucks as Prime Minister and is destroying that country, by the way, was voted in because, or won the election because majority of women voted for him. I mean, regardless of what you want to say as to, like, yeah, it's a theoretical situation. It didn't happen, but all the people who have made horrible decisions in countries like Canada and the United States, like Joe
Have
Biden,
been men.
have been men elected by, or at the
Men.
elected by women, because majority of the situation or of the voting, the thing that really skewed, right, the thing that really moved the needle to the side of, for example, Biden, was women. The thing that moved the needle towards people like Justin Trudeau were women. Women outnumber men in this country. Women are a very powerful voting pool. If a candidate can win women over, majority of the times they're going to win. That's how it works, especially in the United States, because we have way more women than we do men. So Sorry, buddy,
100%.
you were
May I
lagging,
say
buddy.
something though?
Yeah, go
Can you
ahead, go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So, with that said, it just like with everyone's political belief, as their own personal, who they are as an individual. Everyone has different beliefs, so it doesn't mean like I didn't vote for a man because I want to go to war as a man. I didn't vote for anything because of this. I don't agree with everything, but I don't disagree with everything. So categorizing the women that outnumber us for voting for this type of situation where we have to go to war doesn't necessarily mean that all the women that voted have the same view on the war. Yes, they might outnumber us and their votes were heard and counted, but that doesn't mean that just because some men believe in going to war and some women believe going to war doesn't mean that the majority of that of said persons, of men and women, believe in going to war, but it also doesn't mean that they don't. So it's kind of contradicting itself in the sense of everyone has their own belief towards going to a war, as everyone has their own belief on abortion, on this, on that, on marriage, on whatever the situation may be. So saying that is kind of like just saying that all of them are for war. All men are against war. Not all men are against war, and not all women are against war. But you have the few who don't agree with it. That that said, it's not like the ballot says, "Do you want to go to war?" Yes, and you check yes, and 90 million women said yes, and only 50 million men said yes. So it's not like that. It's more based on the individual person. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody in the right mind would want to go to war,
Yeah, but we can
especially
tell.
women.
But we can tell, like, based off of like statistics and studies that have been done as to what women usually vote for and what men usually vote for. Now, I don't think any president or candidate in their right mind would run their campaign based off of the decision that they want to go to war, because they would probably lose that candidacy or that presidency. That was just an example as to the power that women have to make decisions in this country that, for the most part, worst comes to worst, would affect men the most. Because again, I don't think anybody does want to go to war, but I think women have a way less of a shoe in this game, considering that they are not going to be the ones who are going to have to go to war. It's going to be the men. The men are the ones who are going to have to go and die in wars, while women stay in the country, for the most part unaffected, unless obviously we're invaded. But that probably won't happen in the United States because we're very, very fortunate geologically. Um, yeah, that's the right word. Geographically, rather. Sorry, speaking. We're very blessed in that regard. But that was just to say that women have a lot of power in making decisions in this country that, again, worst comes to worst, would affect men the most. Now, my main point as to why women shouldn't be allowed to vote is because men are the ones who have to be drafted or who are up for draft, not women. If war comes and we need to have a draft, men are going to be forced, not women, which is my main point. That's like, you have the responsibility of that. You should get the privilege of voting. Now, when it comes to not all women would do this or not all men would do that, sure, that's fine. I'm sure there would be many of women who would vote, or many women who would vote in a very good way for the right president or whatever the case may be. Let me ask you a question before I make this point. Do you think that progressivism and liberalism and Democrat policies have ruined this country to a certain degree in past presidents and the recent ones that we've had?
100%.
Okay. So with that being said, if if we repealed the 19th Amendment and women were not allowed to vote anymore starting today, there would be not a single, and I'll tell you something, we've seen this in the past elections, there would not be a single progressive, Democrat, liberal candidate to ever be elected to president of the United States ever again. The main party, the main ideology that's been causing us harm as a country would never be in office again if all women didn't vote or all women couldn't vote anymore. That's a fact. Considering how they've been voting, the trends in which they've been voting in previous elections, and the reasons they give, not a single progressive politician would be elected into office ever again, and we would be all the better for it. That's to say that all these, like, we've seen, we've seen the people that we've had. Biden has given money to a country to continue their war, and Trump has wanted to end it. We see the party that is warmongering, and we see the party that is not, the party that is trying to stop it. the people who majority vote for people like Joe Biden, who is a warmonger, and most of that party is a warmonger, and the progressives are warmongers, those are women who mostly vote for those people. That's kind of similar to voting for somebody who has the possibility of sending us to war, in which men would have to fight it, not women.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact. You can look at all the people. You can look at Joe Biden and his numbers when it came to women and how women voted in that election. Women were a very major reason as to why Joe Biden won that election. And they voted, majority of women voted for Joe Biden. They voted for that progressive guy. Why? Because that's how women vote. Women don't vote with like the country in mind or the greater good in mind. What they vote for, generally speaking, is their own situations and what they want from a president. So they're going to vote for the guy who talks about abortion all the time. They're going to vote for the guy who talks about women's rights all the time. They're going to vote for that. Why? Because that's what they want. They don't want what's best for the country. They want what's best for them in their current situation, which so does everybody else. But men think more in a broad brush than women do, generally speaking. And so, considering this, we can look at previous elections in which previous presidents have won who were progressive. You can see women voted in droves for these people. Men did not. If women were not allowed to vote anymore, I'm telling you right now, Matt, there would be no more progressives in office. There would not be. This country would be run by conservative people like President Trump, like J.D. Vance. You know, these type of people would be running the country, not people like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why Kamala Harris even got close, which she wasn't close at all, but the only reason why she even got close is because a lot of women voted for her. And the only reason why she lost is because not a lot of women voted at all. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just, and you can see that, like, that's, you could Google that shit. You'll Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But, you know, to a certain degree, man, like, on top of the whole war thing, just women make bad decisions in voting, and that's just a fact. Generally speaking, of course, I'm not saying 100% of women. I would never speak in absolutes, but generally speaking, women do make pretty bad decisions in voting. Men generally do not. So
I could also say the same for men because a lot of men voted for Kamala Harris.
bro, look at the percentage of men who voted for Kamala Harris versus Trump. Vast majority of men voted for Trump. The vast majority of women voted for, or I suppose the majority of women voted for Kamala, and then the vast majority of women voted for Biden. But the vast majority of men voted for Trump. Of course, were there a couple of stupid people, retards, who voted? Oh shit, I can't say that. Were there a couple of a good amount of stupid people, R-slurred people, who voted for Kamala Harris? Of course, but when we're talking about the majority, we're talking about generally. Men generally voted for Trump. They did not vote for Biden or for Kamala, and then they also didn't vote for Biden. But but yeah, like and like I said, the only reason why Kamala lost this election is because majority of women didn't vote, or a lot more women didn't vote. If they would have voted, like kind of all things kind of show that they would have voted for Kamala, and she would have won. She would have been president right now. Who knows how that would be right now? We probably would be in war with fucking Russia right now. But But yeah, you know, like that. The proof is in the pudding, bro. And I'll be honest with you, man. Ever since we let women vote, bro, I'm not even saying this to be mean or anything. Women make bad decisions, man. Women make bad decisions in voting. They do not make good decisions. Again, generally, men generally do. There's always that dumbass amongst the flock, but generally, men make better decisions.
And I don't agree with that 100%.
I mean, bro, you could just see it. Like, you don't even have to agree with me. You could see it in the numbers, bro. All the numbers, they back up what I'm saying, bro. When it comes to the politicians that everybody, like, when it comes to the politicians that make better decisions, they do better in office. Like Trump did better in office than Biden did. I think we can all agree on that.
That's because Kamala Harris was, pulling the strings. He was just a puppet.
Exactly. So the people who get elected into office, who are puppets who get pulled on by other puppeteers like Kamala Harris or fucking Jill Biden or Nancy Pelosi and those people are elected by women for the most part. Majority of the people who voted for these people that really pushed it over the line where they won, it was because of women. And you could see, like, you don't even have to take my word for that. Search it up and you'll see it in the numbers. You'll be able to see it firsthand. Women are the reason why these people are in office. If they wouldn't be able to vote, they would not be in office. Which is why they gave them the right to vote in the first place. Because the people who want to be in power gave women the right to vote knowing that women would vote in favor of them, which is why they're in power. Now, I'm getting a little bit conspiracy theory. This is allegedly, let me just say allegedly, let me make that clear for YouTube just so they don't fucking ban me. Allegedly, this is what's going on. So, that's all I'm saying, man. You look at all the numbers from previous presidents, previous candidates, you'll see it. You don't even have to take my word for it, bro. Like I said, the people who we know do better as presidents, the more conservative people, the less progressives, they are usually voted in because of because either women don't vote as much in that election or men vote a lot more in favor of the actual right candidate. So that's just, like I said, you don't have to take my word for it, bro. Search it up and look at the numbers and you'll be you might be surprised, bro. I'm telling you one thing. But yeah, bro, like that's just what it is. I mean, that's how it is in our church, bro. We're both Catholic. That's how it is in our church. There are no women as priests or as deacons or as bishops or as archbishops or as cardinals or the Pope. Never a woman. Why? Because we are a patriarchal system in the church for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And women have their role and they have a very important role as as sisters, as devouts of almsgivings and things of this nature. But they can't be priests for a reason, And that's just what it is. That's in our own church, buddy. That's in our own church. So I don't know, but yeah, that's all I've been speaking for so long, but that's all I have to say, buddy. I'm gonna stop speaking before I talk too much. Although I probably already have, but
I
But
don't know, bro. It's just, I don't see them as the problem. Because at the end of the day, like has been said in previous episodes, women think more emotionally, we think logically. So when they vote, they're voting for the more suitable
do you believe
suitable
that
believe what?
what you just said?
That women think more emotionally, men think logically?
Yeah.
I believe it to a certain extent.
Do you believe that it's very prominent in the decisions that they make?
Uh yeah.
So, Maddie, why in the fuck would you want a group of emotional people to make decisions as to who's gonna run this country and run it, whether or not we like our economy shuts down or we go to war or fucking whatever the fuck happens or we start losing money, house prices go up. Why in the world would you want emotional people, as just named by you, more emotional people, to run this or to make decisions that are going to affect this country in very big ways? Why would that be a thing that you'd
Because
want? because
because you
because of
always
fairness?
No, not because of fairness, because you always need the balance of emotion between the logic, because logic may not always be the most logical thing to do. Sometimes you need to throw emotion in there, like one of not to like get off track or for it to not make sense, but one of TV's most known emotionless characters, Spock, right? He was only logical. He would always speak like that. It's only logical. He would always think of the most logical solution, plan, execution of a whatever. He would always think the most logical thing until he met Kirk, who was an emotionally driven captain.
Yeah, but
And
he was arslerd though.
he what?
Like Spock is arslerd. Like that guy is not.
Oh, art slurred.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not
damn.
he's not like what you would consider a regular human being. or like somebody
No,
who would,
100%. But at
yeah,
the end of the day, he's a logical being.
yeah,
He's
but
only
you would say
for
that, oh,
logicness.
like like your average man is not like
No,
Spock.
no. Not saying men are like Spock. No, 100%. No. But I'm saying in the aspect of the thought that men think logically. Perfect example is Spock. Women think emotionally. Perfect example, Captain Kirk.
Yeah, but I don't think that's really a perfect example. You don't think men think a lot or think with emotion either?
No, 100%. But we think more logically. That's why we need the balance.
Okay,
That's why
so let me ask you a
women are
question.
there to by our side.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that they're in decision making? Let's just say I agree with you. There should be logic and there should also be emotion. Do you think that there should be more logic or more emotion in that decision?
In decision of what?
Let's just generally speaking. Like, do you think decisions should be made more like majority logic or majority emotion?
Well, for the benefit and for the safety of everything, of course, you would need more
Okay, and you
logical.
would also agree. You would say that you need more logic. There should be more majority logic, and then there should be some emotion, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you would also agree that men do have they do like predominantly think
Holy
logically.
shit.
Yeah, no, I was going crazy there. They predominantly think logically, but they also do think emotionally, right? Just
hundred percent.
to a less degree than women.
Yes, because we're at the end of the day, we're still human, and emotion is still part of our characteristics.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're telling me that to make decisions, there should be more logic than emotion, and then you're telling me that men do make more logical decisions, but they also use emotion in those decisions. So then we have everything we need. We have men who make logical decisions. For the most part, we use logic more than we do emotion, but we still use emotion, which is what you said that should be made, or should a decision should be made under. A decision should
Yes,
be made under logic, majority, and emotion somewhat. That's what men do.
I yes, I agree. We do use emotion, but what we need is more is the stronger version of emotion, which happens to be the women.
That would be the weaker part of emotion.
I mean, I wouldn't say weaker.
Yeah, because
I would say something different.
what they do is they allow their emotion to take hold of their logic. And like you said, where decisions are made where it's more emotion than logic, it's probably not the best idea.
I can
So
disagree on that because if you're at a bar and some guy bumps into you, you're gonna respond emotionally. You're gonna be, "Hey, bro, watch where you're going," and then he's gonna respond emotionally back, like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, don't talk to me like that," and then y'all end up in a fight after 3 words of exchange.
exactly.
Eh,
That's what I just said though. So if you use
That's
more
not
if you
logical though. The logical thing to be is like, "Hey, bro, you bumped into me. Oh, my bad, bro. I'll see that. I see you. It's all good. Just watch where you're going." Yeah, that's it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're telling me that in that situation, it would fare better for a man to use his logic than his emotions to avoid a fight, and men use more logic than emotions, then wouldn't that stand to reason that men should be making decisions because we use more logic than emotion, even though we still use some emotion to make our decisions, but women use majority emotion and less logic than we do? Wouldn't it stand to reason that men are the best, or logically speaking, wouldn't it stand to reason that men would be the ones who would make the best decisions?
Not really, because you need the pure emotion of a woman, the femininity, the
Why would you need the pure
nurturingness.
emotion of a woman?
Are you gonna raise your baby by yourself?
No, of course not,
Why not?
because it's not ideal to raise a baby just by a single father.
Exactly. You need the man, you need the emotion, you need the nurturing, you need the caring, you need the love, you need the warmth of a woman, the emotion of a woman, because the emotion of a man and the emotion of a woman are completely different.
Yeah, but would you say that a lot of the time when women are raising their kids, it's not it? Would you say that it's better for a single mother to raise her kids, or for a single father to raise their kids?
Well, I don't know because I do know many people. Well, you know what? I'll actually say it's better for a single mom to raise the children because that's what they're better for, you know?
Okay, yeah. So you think that that would be backed up by like numbers, statistics, things of this nature?
100% because more of the people that I know that were raised just by their father turned out a lot worse than if they didn't have their mother.
Okay, yeah. So the numbers would disagree with you. Like what the numbers do show, and these have been a lot of studies that have been done, show that kids who come out of single father households, fare much better when it comes to education. So they graduate high school at higher rates than single mothers do, or kids that come out of single mother homes do. They fare better when it comes to incarceration. So they're incarcerated at way less rates than children that come out of single mother homes are. They fare better in relationships, and when it comes to children made out of wedlock, things of this nature, they fare better in religion. So they have more faith than women or than children that are out of single mother homes. And this all can be attributed to the emotionality as to which women raise their children versus the logic that men raise their children. Because I can tell you one thing, I would expect more that a woman who is raising a child, single mother, would be more resentful of her ex-husband or her ex-boyfriend or whatever, her baby daddy or whatever the case, and kind of push that onto their kids a lot more than a single father who is raising his kids would be resentful towards towards his baby mom or whatever the case may be. Like a woman would be like, men ain't shit, men suck, men this and that, whatever the case. Whereas men who are single fathers would more number one be focusing on the caring of the child, but number two would be focusing more on the no, she was a piece of shit, but not all women are like this because men do make more logical decisions and more logical reasoning at the end of the day, as we both agreed to, So it's like, for example, a woman, her child falls in front of her or something like that. She goes, "Oh no, 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 he fell. No, no, it's okay, baby, it's okay. No, it's okay." A man would be like, "All right, get up. It's okay. It doesn't hurt you, man. Like, you're all right, right? Are you broken? Any bones broken? You doing all right? You're good. You're whole. All right, bro. Try again." You know, it's like you're going on a bike ride. Who's the one who's teaching the kids how to ride bikes? For the most part, it's men. It's the father. Why? Because if the kid falls, the mom's gonna be like, "Oh no, no, you know what? No, no, I don't want you to get hurt. So no, we're not gonna do this." And then the father would be like, "All right, man, you fell. It's gonna happen. You all right though? All right, get back up on the bike and try again. Let's go. We got this." We think more logically. Again, the
Yeah, but
number.
at the same time, I think in that type of situation, a single mother would be both mother and father. So she would also be the same way, like, "Oh, you fell? Oh, it's okay, but you know what? Don't Are you hurt? No? Okay, then keep going. Just don't let it happen again. Pay attention again." They'll have the nurturing of the mother, but then they'll also have developed the father aspect of it and then still act in the manner as a father would.
Yeah, which is horrible because at the end of the day, the woman acting like a man is not going to really show a man how to be a true man, right? So she can attempt to imitate men as much as she wants, but at the end of the day, to be a man, she's not going to really be able to show that to her son, and so, and I would even argue that you like
Ooh.
listening. I'm not gonna lie, and I've seen this in my own experiences. I know experiences are kind of bullshit because when it comes to this type of stuff, it's all about the numbers and studies and things like this. But in my own experience, kids who are raised by single mothers, bro, when they're adults or when they're like grown or like, teenagers, whatever the case, the mothers of those kids, of those people, are way more like overprotective, are way more like kind of on their case about stuff than than like people who are raised by single fathers are. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the guys, whenever I see a single mother, a kid or a guy or whatever the case raised by a single mother, dude, that mother is on his ass about shit. She's like she's like worrying about him all the time. She's always asking him where he's at, all this type of shit. You don't really see that from the from the father, from the single father. You know what I'm saying? And I think that goes to
So
show
how is that bad? How
because
is that bad though?
I think that goes to show how emotional women truly are. Where regardless of how much you think a woman is gonna develop this fatherly aspect to her or this masculine role or whatever the case, she is still gonna be this emotional, um, you know, super protective mother that she's always supposed to be. Men are always gonna be the logical uh, nurturer that they're supposed to be.
Well, logical and nurturing are completely different things. The woman by nature is more nurturing. So
You think so? You think so?
100%.
I don't
That's
think so.
why that's why God had them breastfeed the baby. Why doesn't the man produce nutrients from his body for the baby? No, that's why it's the woman. The woman is the one that she goes through the pain She goes through the
The
changes,
natural
physical changes.
properties, the natural processes rather. Yeah.
100%. Even in nature, even in animals, what do the little lion cubs do? What do the little kittens do? They go to the mom, but what does the dad do? Nothing. The mom is
No,
the one
no,
that gives
no.
the baby the
When it
nutrients.
let's just number one, comparing lions to humans is never a good argument. But even with this lion thing, the fathers of the lion cubs, they stay in the cave with their cubs, protecting their cubs, or in their pride, protecting the cubs. Because if you leave women alone with cubs, they'll be much easier to kill. The little babies will be much easier to kill. If you leave the men with the cubs, they'll be much more protected by the male lions. And then the women, who are still strong when it comes to lionesses, they're still very strong, so they can go hunt and bring food and stuff like that. But men, they don't sit around do nothing. They protect the pride. That's like the only reason why pride stay alive is because the male lions protect the cubs. But even, going away from lions here, when it comes to the men or whatever the case may be. Oh, dude, I forgot my whole entire argument. What the fuck? What is it that we left off when it came to that you just said?
The last thing, well, you said, well, I said uh, that in nature, the mother is the one that
Oh,
nurtures the
right, right, right.
baby
You're
and
right. You're
first
right.
produces.
That's what I was gonna say. So you're saying, oh, because the babies they get milk from their mother's breast and whatnot. That's true, but how long do they do that for? A year, or sorry, not a year, 2 years at tops, actually, because
That's still 2
at
years
two,
longer than a man has to do it.
Yeah, but guess what a man has to do after that? He has to teach that kid how to survive in life. He has to teach that kid how the world moves because a woman is, for the most part, sheltered from that stuff growing up. So a man is the one who has to take from 3 years old. I think it's before that they stop like breastfeeding. I think it's like 1 year and a half. They like most babies stop breastfeeding, but for a year and a half, a woman breastfeeds their child. Cool, that's fine. A lot of women nowadays don't even breastfeed anymore, but let's just say they still do. They breastfeed their child. Cool, whatever. After that, for the next like decade and a half, if not more, um, the father, teaches this young child how to survive in life, how to get ahead in life, teaches them morals, teaches them faith, teaches them strategies on how to get ahead, teaches them respect, teaches them manners, all those different things that will get you ahead in life. That's what men teach their kids. That's what, especially the boys. That's what men do. So for the next 11, or sorry, not 11, for the next 16 years, 15 years of their life, men are the ones who are nurturing, just in a different way. And I think men are super unappreciated for that. I think we focus a lot on the way women nurture. Women nurture. Oh, they give their breast to their babies, and they're always being nice to their babies and all this type of. They're feeding their kids and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think we give enough attention to the way that fathers nurture their children. For majority of their life, I would say longer than women nurture their kids, men nurture their children to learn how to live in life, to learn how to actually be able to get ahead in life and survive. The
100%, I
same
do
way they do
agree.
it, and the same way they do it in the lion prides. It's the same way. At the end of the day, who's gonna
100%.
teach the little lions how to hunt? It's gonna be the men, or sorry,
100%,
how to
yeah.
fight and how to defend their homes. It's gonna be the men. It's gonna be the fathers. That's just
Yes, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying women can do just the same and do the same. If not, sometimes better.
they can try to do the same. And actually, what the studies show is that they do far worse when they feel like they have to do the same when they're single mothers and they have nobody to teach their kids how to survive and how to live in life and stuff like that. What the studies actually show is that single mothers actually do far worse. Their children actually go to prison more. Their children graduate from high school less. Their children earn less. Their children are addicted to drugs more versus the kids that come out of single father homes. They fare far better in earning potential. They fare far better in education. They graduate from high school and go to college more. They go the children who are born from single or who live in single father households, they go to jail less. All these different aspects of life that I said myself in my previous point, that men teach their kids how to survive. All these different aspects of life and survival, the kids who come out of single father households do much better in these aspects than the ones that come out of single mother households. And I'm sure you would say, and there's a lot of people in our job, I'm sure that would say, I think I know who we're talking about, El Cubano, who would say that they've heard of stories and they've seen people in their lives who were born from single mother households and they're doing just fine and they're doing amazing and whatnot. But when we look at the numbers, and we sure as shit have to look at the numbers here, they fare generally far worse than those coming from single father households. I think, and this goes to show the effect that fathers have on children is extremely undervalued and underestimated by people today. Like, fathers provide so much more than we think today. And to me personally, when it comes to life and living and being successful and being what's the word, being successful and kind of getting ahead in life and being able to live and survive, men have more to do in that situation than women do. I mean, you look at people like Tom Brady, right? When they ask him, who's your hero? He said his father. When you look at people who are successful today, a lot of the time they get the chops to succeed and all that shit from their father. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, we see it a lot in people today who are successful and stuff like that. Usually the people that they give, like, who's your hero? It's my father. You
For
know?
example, Kevin Hart, he did everything for his mom.
But he did
Dwayne
it. But
Johnson
that's what I'm
did
saying.
everything for his
He did
mom
everything. They do everything for their mom, not
because they didn't have
because
a
of
father
their. But
figure
that's what I'm
to
saying.
teach them anything, and their mothers were so independent and strong, stronger than the men possibly could have been, to help their sons become successful, build them to the men that they are, so they were be so that shit fuck wow, so that they were to have been rewarded as their sons turned into great, if not better, humble men, not the showboating guys, this and that, because these men do everything for their family men,
I
dude
mean,
that
I
have
don't
been
know, man,
raised by
because
the woman.
Kevin Hart cheated on his wife multiple times, man. I don't know about. And then Dwayne Johnson divorced his wife, so I don't know how much of family men they actually are. So, you know what I mean?
We're in the aspect of the mothers,
Yeah, they take care of their moms, but so does Tom Brady. Tom Brady takes care of his mom too. But at the end of the day, you see this in what they say, right? And what you said there, where you said that like they do it better than the men could ever do it. I think, again, when we look at the numbers, that's not what the numbers show. But furthermore, when we look at the reasons they give, it's like it's different. You got to look at the language. When it comes to single mothers, the people who are successful that come out of single mothers, they say, "I'm doing it for my mom." When it comes to the people who come out of, when they say, who's your hero? It's your father. I'm doing this because of my dad. Like, he's the one who gave me these tools to be able to do this. Versus my mom kept me alive, and then I was able to do this for her. It's different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying thank you in different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's different, bro. At the end of the day, men. Again, when we look at the numbers, men are, I would say, raise kids better than women do. 100% they do. 120% they do. Now, this is not to say, regardless of anything, the most ideal situation for any child is to have both parents in the home raising them together. That's the best way that any child could be raised. But when we're talking about which gender is able to do it better, again, the numbers would show that, generally speaking, men are able to do it far better than women can. That's just what the statistics and the studies show. If they showed the complete opposite, I would be saying the complete opposite. But that's not what it shows. That's just what it is.
Well, those people are doing really. They need to broaden their spectrum of where they do some of these tests, because down here in Miami, there's a lot more single moms than there are single dads, and those single moms are doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, again, that's from what you see, right? So when we're talking about, like, when people are in debates or whatever the case, your experiences don't really mean much when it comes to debates. Although, obviously, it's good to give an anecdote because they provide emotional, like, appeal and whatnot. And I understand you've experienced that. And to be honest with you, so have I. I've had people around me. I think I've had more people around me that do better with single mothers than single fathers. But that's just not what the numbers show. You know what I'm saying? That's not like we can see it in our little bubble here in South Florida, Hialeah, Miami, fucking Miami Gardens area, whatever the case may be. We could see it down here in our little bubble of South Florida. But for the rest of the world, for the rest of the United States, yeah, the numbers don't show that. Like I said, the numbers show that generally men do better parenting their kids than women do. That's just what it is. Although again, like I told you, women are super important to the parenting process. Both of the parents should be involved in every circumstance. It's the best way. But
100%.
yeah, there's no if ands or buts about that. There is a but there's no if ands about that. But when it comes to either or, who does it better between the two? It's just again, just factually, it's the men. That's just what it is. But your experiences have totally different. So have mine. But that's just the numbers, bro. But that's just another reason why women suck. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I know. That's bro. I swear, out of everything I've said, I know people are going to be listening to this, and that thing that I just said, that women suck, is all they're
That's
gonna.
the only thing they're gonna
That's the
remember.
only thing they're gonna hear, bro. That's all they're gonna hear. That's what they're gonna interpret. But it is
That's
what
all
it is.
I heard.
This fucking guy. But that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? It's what the numbers show, bro. And that's you can't argue with that, bro. Like as much as you would like to. Like I understand women are they're the ones who are perceived to be these super loving and nurturing people who are like so nice to their kids and whatnot. But yeah, again, the numbers just don't show that. Which again, furthermore, another interesting statistic that to put out there, kids are actually abused more in single mother households than they are in single father households. That's actually a crazy stat that I saw. That just I don't know, kind of further proves this point. Abused more, like physical abuse more in single mother households. Yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of goes to show, but either way, that's but that's all I have to say about it. I don't know if you have any final thoughts on that or.
Shout out to all the single moms. Y'all do a fantastic job.
Do better. Fucking hell, do better.
No, y'all do a fantastic job.
To all the single moms out there who do a good job, God bless y'all. And then same thing for the fathers. Bro, fathers are unappreciated in this society like crazy. To all the single fathers out there, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. Instill some morals in these kids. Teach them how to live. Teach them how to do great things. And, you'll be more valuable to society than anybody will give you credit for. But, hey, that's the life of men. So, but yeah, buddy, that's it for me.
Go women.
This fucking guy. All right, well, you have any last words about anything we have said during the show, or are you good with that?
I'm pretty much good, bro.
All right, beautiful. We had a pretty good show today, so with that being said, let's start wrapping it up. Thank you so very much for listening and for tuning in to the show. We appreciate every single one of you, and we appreciate you for spending your time with us. You could be spending it anywhere else in the world, and doing anything else imaginable, but you chose to spend it with us. We appreciate it very much. Just a disclaimer once again, the views expressed on the show by the individual hosts or guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the CatFiveBoys podcast. We have clips. Anybody who can't catch the full shows, but you want to see kind of the best bits, we do post clips on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. If you guys want to go catch and take a look at those clips, just follow those accounts, and you'll be able to see kind of the best bits or some of the best bits of each episode. If anybody wants to be a guest on the show, we invite you to DM our Instagram at CatFiveBoys, expressing your interest in being a guest on the show. We would love to have you on. If you disagree with my take on men being better at parenting, or if you disagree with Maddie's take on women that should be able to vote, you can come and debate us on whatever topic you'd like. We would love to have you on. If you just want to talk about something that's interesting to you, again, we would love to have you on. We will get that sorted out, and we'll reach out to you as well, and again, kind of iron that stuff out. I stream. that's again a new announcement I'll be making at the beginning and ending of these shows. I am streaming on Twitch every Saturday from around 6 to 7. I start p.m. That is. If you guys want to come check it out, it's codename Soap. I'll leave it in the description down below. The Twitch. It is I'm the one who streams on that. So if you guys want to put a face to the name or to the voice, I'll be streaming every Saturday at 6 p.m. 6 to 7 p.m. You guys can come check it out. You can tell me how I'm a dumbass in my chat, or give some love, whatever you guys want to do. We'd love to have you there. Yeah, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow on Spotify and the Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave comments. We love the comments. We will read all the comments, as many as we can, and we'll respond to all of them as we can as well. And yeah, we post every Wednesdays and Fridays. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow, or I suppose the day we post this, which is Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, the start of Lent, make sure to take advantage of this Lent season and get closer to God, get closer to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching again. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great night. Good night, guys.
Have a blessed night, everybody. Let's all go into the season of Lent with open hearts. The little sacrifices that we're going to be making. Let's all actually have sacrifices and go through it and be very grateful for this wonderful season.
Amen. God bless you. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.